uncles and aunties, stories about life in the 90s, and of course what's happening nowadays. So keep me in the background and enjoy the ride.
No? Hey, back with another new episode of Totoy McCoy's Boom Boom Room. I'm your host, Totoy McCoy, and today is actually a special podcast or special episode for me because this is my first all English podcast with a good friend of mine. A friend of mine who's I don't know, we haven't actually really spoken to each other in about what, 2 years?
Probably around that much, yeah.
Probably about 2 years, but I've got Juan with me right now, and yeah, I'll let him speak. Juan, how are you, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Good to hear you. Good to see you. First of all, very professional intro. Very surprised, and the Boom Boom Room. It's
What do you mean very
appropriate for you.
surprised?
Very surprised. So professional. Yeah, I mean, you are a very professional person. I didn't expect such a professional intro to the podcast. And again, the Boom Boom Room is very fitting for what I know about you.
Well, I try. I try to be as professional as I can be. But yeah, look, it's a habit of mine to talk, and you of all people should know that because that's how we bonded. Mainly just
that's how we did. Yes.
Yeah, mainly just talking about stuff, crapping, and
yeah. Yeah.
All right. Well, how you been, man? 2 years. 2 years. You've actually moved to New South Wales. Been a while.
Yeah.
Been a while.
Well, actually, I moved towards the end of 2019, so it's been 2.5 years almost now. I did the move with the company that I used to work with. That made it actually easy for me, which was great. And then here in Sydney, I have a brother that's been living here forever. Because I've been in Australia for just under 8 years.
So we're roughly the same.
Before Sydney,
we're roughly the same.
Similar. Yeah. So all the time before Sydney was in Adelaide, which is where, of course, where you and I met. And yeah, the reason why we bonded is because we have fairly similar stories. We were the older ones in the team where we started working at that place.
Still baby faced though. We're the most baby faced ones, but you know we're older. But yeah, you know.
Nobody believes how old we are, and that's
Latino power.
True.
Yeah, Latino power.
Man, that's these Goldilocks from Colombia.
This is the brown sugar from the Philippines. There you go.
There you go, man. So, and I have a very Filipino name. I've been told Juan Gonzalez is a very Filipino name, apparently.
Yeah.
Actually, funny story. I had to go to the hospital. Nothing major happened in February. Had a quick procedure done, and the guy that picked me up from the waiting room where I was already in my gown and the whole thing, he was a Filipino guy, and he asked me, "What's your name?" And so I said, "Juan Gonzalez." "Oh, it's my name too, Juan Gonzalez." So Juan Gonzalez was taking Juan Gonzalez to the operation room.
Really?
One Filipino, one Colombian, both Juan Gonzalez. There we go.
Look, with the way that your story was actually going, I knew there was a Filipino there because come on, doctors mainly known for Filipinos are mainly known for being nurses, so I pretty much know where that was
nurse
actually.
Man.
See, yeah, there you go. But yeah, okay, but you're okay. I mean, nothing really out of the ordinary. It's just one of that procedure.
I have absolutely no issues telling you about it. It was a circumcision done at a very late age.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, yeah.
Did it hurt?
Imagine that. Uh, it it just feels weird because picture yourself going to work in in the jungle every day, and you're always, have your shirt and your helmet, right, and your
Yeah.
goggles
Yeah.
and your gloves, and then one day they tell you, now you need to take all of that off, and you still have to go into the jungle and work with that. So it feels like
But why? But
like
why get it?
you're naked.
But why
Yeah,
get it now? Why get it now?
because I was having issues with the whole thing. It wasn't working as it should work, the skin.
Ah.
So everything started becoming an issue, right? So
Oh, and look, this is
so
I'm genuinely surprised, okay? I'm genuine because I look, I'm not gonna do research on somebody else's dicks and but
well,
wow.
it
Okay.
well, yeah, you probably shouldn't, but it's actually something that is quite common, and if
Ah.
people out there are having, just go to your doctor and they'll just gonna say snip snip. It's ambulatory, so you're out on the same day. I did it on a Friday. I was back at work on Monday, and you just need to take care of maintaining the whole thing and making sure that
Mm,
it doesn't get
mm.
infected or anything. But it's just 6 weeks after you're back in business. It just feels weird because you've always had. It's the example of having all the gear and then taking it off.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's how it feels. You feel at the beginning, you feel unprotected completely, right?
Because I
And
would have thought
it's weird.
because you are Catholic, right?
Yes, yes.
So part of being well, I look, pardon my ignorance, okay, but part of being Catholic is actually you got to get snipped, you got to get circumcised.
No, no,
No,
no. It's not a religious thing at all. It was just basically, I think it's Jewish people they need to get snipped. We don't need to.
because I know for us, yeah. Oh,
Let me
okay, there you go.
if you're a fan of Friends, the TV
Yeah,
show, right?
yeah.
There's an episode where Joey is offered a part of a Catholic soldier,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
and
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah.
he
You're right.
he's
You're right.
supposed to be anatomically correct, and
Yeah,
so basically what they're telling
yeah.
him is he's supposed to not be circumcised
So he got
because
he got
he
the
was Catholic
pieces of
in the early.
pieces of ham.
Yeah, so it's not a Catholic thing at all. It's not a Catholic thing at all. Yeah, and when he goes
Okay.
into the audition, he gets naked, and then whatever he put on to cover, it just falls off into the ground.
Wow. All right. We'll talk about
Yeah,
revelations. There you go.
yeah. So
I
it was
wasn't.
it was more like it wasn't a hygiene issue. It
Mm.
wasn't no. It was basically it was bugging me. What that bit of your body does, you're supposed to retract back and forth, right? It
Mm.
wasn't doing it properly, and it was hurting, and it was cracking.
It was.
Imagine the pain,
Oh God.
cracking.
Oh man.
So you just
Why are we talking about this?
because you asked me
Yeah. Well.
about
No.
the
No. No.
Juan
No. I know. I know. I
the
know. I
Juan
know.
Gonzalez nurse. You asked me about the Juan Gonzalez nurse, so I had to tell you the whole story, man. That was context.
Wow. Mind blown. There you
Yeah,
go. There you go, guys. Like,
yeah.
by the way, this episode's actually quite special um to the podcast as well because this is like my really first full-on English episode. I normally have guests, Filipino guests, some friends of mine
Yeah.
from way back, so we do talk in our language. The first couple of episodes, if you haven't actually heard it, first couple of episodes were mainly about sports. So you know me, we
Mm,
always talk about MMA, right? So it's
we
mainly
need to.
MMA. And when I did those first few couple of episodes, I did speak in Filipino, but a lot of it were actually spoken in English as well. So it was only when I spoke with some friends of mine that I started speaking in Filipino, and then I decided. So there's this kind of like change that I did. Initially, it was just about sports MMA because that's what we me. That's what we do, right? That's what we normally
That's
talk
what we
about.
like.
Yeah, and afterwards, I'm like, okay, well, let me try to catch up with some of my friends, and then we started talking in Filipino. So that's where the show is going on, going to right now. It's just me mainly catching up with friends, with a lot of close friends like you, and
We need
yeah.
we need to find Matt and get Matt and do a three-way
You
podcast
know
one
what?
of
I
these
was
days.
actually thinking about that. I was actually thinking about that, but let's do it because I'm gonna try to get Diego the next time around, and then I'll get you and Matt. I'll get you and Matt in.
Cool.
But my only issue there with Zoom is, if it's like more than or three people or more, they cut us off. But look, I can
From three onwards
from after an hour. After an
or
hour,
three onwards?
yeah,
Yeah,
three
okay.
onwards, yeah. But we could do it. We'll find ways. I've done it before, so we'll find ways. But yeah, I'll get Matt
Just
in.
thought, yeah.
He's
Just
about
thought
ready to be
because
a. What's he doing
that's the
now?
thing. I don't know where he's working. I don't know where he's working, but he's about to be a dad. I just became a dad. So
Congratulations! I was
thank you
waiting for
very
you to say
much.
that. Yeah, I didn't want to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a weird trio because Matt is way younger than us, right?
Mm, mm. Not even
So
30,
you
right?
want
Is he 30? I
I
don't
think
think he is.
he's close to 30, but
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think
That's
he's
that's
even
my point.
30.
He's not even 30. Yeah.
But you and I are very close in age and sort of life experience.
Mm, mm.
Besides the fact that you're a dad of a girl for I don't know how long, right?
They're basically
Um,
31 and 32. Just to be clear on this one, okay? I'm 32. Juan's 31. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
sure, sure, we are. Um, but the funny thing is that even though Matt is way younger than us, I'm getting into that stage of fatherhood at the same time as he is, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a funny thing. Um, but I think if we bring him over, it will be three people living in Australia that come from third world
It came
countries.
from
So
yeah.
we have a very unique experiences from
Actually,
very different
yeah.
countries.
Yeah.
They are all and it's gonna be funny because we all have very similar stories, even though our cultures are very different.
Mm. Well, also with countries such as ours, for you guys who don't know, Juan actually came from Colombia. Obviously, I'm from the Philippines, and Matt's from South Africa, right? Um, I don't know how it is in Colombia, but right now, so there's an election. Well, somewhat similar here. There's an election here, so I'm the only place that I could compare the elections was basically from the Philippines and from us here. Now, in the Philippines, they're very passionate about their candidates, and to the point that a lot of them are just like, look, if you support this candidate, we're not going to be friends anymore, and so on and so forth. I'm like, are you kidding me? Don't even know you, you know?
Yeah. Um,
I don't know.
it happens in Colombia too. It
Really?
happened in Venezuela. It happened a lot because there's a lot of extremists in our countries, and
Mm,
the left, as we know it in Australia, has absolutely nothing to do with the left as we know it in our countries. And in my case, if we're gonna go that way in South America, when people see the Che Guevara, right? People talk about
mm,
Che Guevara, and they did the movie, The Motorcycle Diaries, and everybody talks about him fighting for the people. He was a freaking terrorist,
mm.
right? That had an
Yeah,
army, an
exactly.
illegal army
Exactly. Yeah, he's got shirts
that
and all
wanted
that.
to,
And I highly doubt that a lot of
right?
people know what he stands for.
They probably don't know, right? So Colombia has the oldest guerrilla warfare in the world because of the
Yeah, I didn't know
leftist
that.
Marxist guerrillas, right? So the left in Colombia has been very aggressive, and for that reason, it's very difficult for the left to be elected in places of power because you see the left as all what they call the combination of all the ways of fighting,
Hmm.
political and actual fighting, right? But now the front runner in Colombia, it's an ex-guerrilla guy that was pardoned back in the 80s, right? But
Yeah,
he's still very
active.
and very aggressive in his speech, and so right now chances are that he's going to win, and for the very first time Colombia is going to have a very leftist government, which is sort of like Venezuelan kind of government that screwed that country up completely, right?
Mm, mm,
So I'm hoping that doesn't happen, and that if they win in Colombia, the institutions tend to be very secure. So even when we had a very right-wing president that 70% of the country loved for a while, they didn't allow him to perpetuate himself in power. The institutions were strong enough, right? But those kind of subjects can be very touchy-feely in Colombia. If you're from the right or if you're from the left, it's can be very touchy-feely. And if you ask me, in Colombia, I'm as hard right as I can be because
mm.
of that history, because the right and the left is completely different than here. And here, I'm about to vote Labor. I have no problem in saying I'm going to vote Labor, which is the left, quote unquote,
Mm,
right?
mm,
So
mm.
I think those extremisms are very difficult to manage. I know I have conservative views in many things, but I have very liberal views in other things.
Mm.
I don't think you can be black or white. There
Yeah,
are
yeah,
grays in
yeah,
everything,
yeah, yeah.
right?
No, 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 definitely, definitely. I mean, it's you, with politics. I always say you have to choose the lesser of the two evils. I mean, they're going to have some policies which you really don't agree on, but then again, what about the other guy? Okay, well, with the other guy, he does so and so, and he kills so and so. But look, I think it works. So it's really it's really your choice. Whatever you think is
Hmm.
actually proper for you. For me, I tend to push people, and when I say push people, it's more of like remember how you hated Trump, right? And I'm
I
all
hate it. I keep hating him, and I will hate him until the day
yeah,
either he
and
dies or I die.
and what do I normally do? I normally tell you, nah, Trump's the best. Trump's this. That's me. That's me.
You're trolling me. I know.
But yeah, that's really me. But nowadays, it's more of like because I see a lot of people just don't get it anymore. Like, if they're for one candidate, right, you can't really say anything bad about that candidate, even if it's just your opinion. And especially in the Philippines, because right now, I even saw this. So there's this lady running,
Mm.
supposedly a very good. Because I don't know anything about the politics anymore. I've never been in touch with Philippine politics, anyways. Been away for far too long. Okay, it's closer to 20 years now. So there's this lady who's supposed to represent good, and there was this other guy who's the son of the late dictator. Okay, so everybody's just saying this and that. If let Lenny is the name of the lady who's running for president. Let Lenny lead. Get her to win all the I don't know if it's like 10 senators that's running with her or something like that. Now I saw this post from one of my friends. Actually, it's kind of like just disheartening because for me these candidates don't even know you. And yes, I get it. It's for your future, for your children's future, and so on and so forth. But in a society, you're actually allowed to have a choice. Okay,
Yeah.
just like let's say you and I, you don't like Trump. As for example, I like Trump. I like Trump. But that doesn't mean we cannot be friends. That doesn't mean I'm not supposed to have an opinion, right? Right. I've seen some people post or even say that, look, if you're voting for the other guy, we can't be friends because I can't have a known um, dictator. He's not the one. It's the dad, possibly. We don't know. A known
Mm.
dictator run the country again because you're taking away a thief at that. You're taking away the future of my child, and I get it. I get it. But isn't that isn't that kind of like against what you want to happen? If you're telling a lot of people that, look, this guy is actually the son of a dictator, and a dictator, if you take a look at what a dictator is, he's basically telling you how to breathe. Long story short,
Mm.
you're kind of like telling the other people as well, look, if you vote for this other person, no, we can't be friends anymore simply because so on and so forth. It's like you're cutting off the choices right there. So I'm like, oh, this is like really serious. And I I completely appreciate that you feel strongly about that, but the thing is that other people do their own choices, and that's
This thing. I think you're absolutely right when you say people have the right to have their own
mm,
feelings and their own thoughts,
mm,
and all I can do is just have my arguments as to why I think the way I think, and
yep.
I have no issues expressing my mind. But
Hmm.
if you don't change your, but I'm not here to change your mind, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not, and I can only go by what you give me as a person. So I don't care if you. I have another colleague from a different company, the one
Mm,
I worked before after the one I worked with you in.
mm.
He's not only he doesn't only like Trump. He's a proper MAGA person,
So
even though
he's not
Australian.
trolling or he's not-
No, he's not trolling me. He's
okay.
proper Trump lover, proper, that way,
Yeah.
right? And we go back and forth hard. But
Mm.
then it's like, hey, so how's your kid? Fantastic. How is your baby now? Okay,
Yeah.
good. And that's it. And every time we see a new show on Netflix, I know that he's gonna like. I say, hey, dude, check this one out. I actually recommended him a show on Netflix that it's a show from Spain.
Mm.
So you can see it dubbed or you can see it with the subtitles. Which is fantastic
What
on
is it?
Netflix called
What is it?
Money Heist. Money Heist.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Amazing
yeah.
show. So I told him, if you don't mind the dubbed or if you don't mind reading the subtitles, go for it. He recommended to me Squid Game. I didn't want to watch it because it's Korean. I don't like to watch dubbed stuff in English because it's weird. I've
Mm,
always been accustomed to dubbed stuff in Spanish because that's what you got.
mm,
All the
mm,
English American shows in Colombia, they're dubbed in Spanish.
mm.
A Mexican version, just as a curiosity, all the Latin American versions are
Yeah.
Mexican versions.
Is there? Wait, hang on. Let me just cut in real quick. So, your type of Spanish, you've actually heard Mexicans speak Spanish as well, right? Is there a difference there?
The same difference that could be between New Zealand and Australia, or Australia and Scotland and the UK and or Ireland, is accents. Right?
Just the
So
accent,
Spain,
but
it's accents.
no,
And
no,
of
no,
course
hang on.
words
No, no,
and
no.
stuff
I
like that.
never heard you speak in Spanish with a th. Like when you say,
No, that's just from
yeah,
Spain. That's just from Spain.
that is
So
from Spain.
so exactly. So the C, when it's a sound, or the Z,
Mm.
they go like this, right? But the S is like this, like sh. So
Ah,
Spain, for example, and that's why people say Ibiza, because Ibiza is with a Z, so they say Ibiza or Barcelona, right? That's why people when they pronounce it in Barcelona, it's not a lisp, it's the way they pronounce the C, the Z, and
yeah.
the
I
S.
even heard this. So I have another friend there, in New South Wales. He's from Spain. And when I was asking him, like, oh, so originally where are you from? We're in Spain. And I'm from Valencia. Valencia.
Valencia, because it's a C, it's a
Yeah.
C, Valencia. But this is the thing, that's what they do in Spain. I don't say Valencia, I say Valencia. For me, in my Spanish and in most of the other countries where I speak Spanish, that difference between the C, the S, and the Z doesn't exist. So we pronounce it basically the same way. So for me, it's Valencia, Barcelona. For them, it's Valencia, Barcelona. Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
And
How do you say Barcelona
this
again?
is
Barcelona.
Barcelona. Like Valencia,
Yeah,
Barcelona.
man.
Right? Now, I find it hilarious when people, for example, in the UK or in Australia, they talk about Ibiza or they say Barcelona because that's how they pronounce it.
Hmm.
Well, don't do that because you look stupid. You look like you're having a brain hemorrhage right now. Because you don't pronounce Paris, you say Paris.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So if you want to
yeah.
pronounce every city the way it's pronounced everywhere, you don't say Munich, you say München.
Oh my God.
Right?
It's like,
So don't say Barcelona because you look like a moron saying Barcelona. That's what I'm saying.
do they speak? Yeah. Well, I guess different folks, different strokes, right? But let's say it's Kobe Bryant. Rest in peace, Kobe. Kobe Bryant. He knows how to speak Italian, like several
Yeah.
languages, right? So when he talks to people about so let's say, who's your favorite soccer player? Oh, my favorite soccer player is Ronaldinho. So suddenly there's that switch, right? There's that switch. Ronaldinho, you know. But if you don't really know, I mean, yeah, you're right.
Well, this is the thing.
Just stick to how you normally pronounce it. Yeah.
Exactly, because it's completely the example you're saying is great because it's a different thing, right? For example, if you're speaking Filipino with someone and you're gonna say a word in English that is not part of the Filipino, because I know in Filipino there's Spanish and there's English, right?
Mm.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
what I
yeah, yeah,
understand.
yeah, yeah.
But if you're gonna say a word in English that you know how to pronounce, it's hard to pronounce it with the accent, right? In Filipino. So you would try to pronounce it in English, right? But it sounds weird
Yeah,
when
it
you do.
is. It is,
So,
man.
for example, when people ask me my name in Australia, I don't say Juan Pablo Gonzalez Rodriguez. I say Juan Pablo Gonzalez Rodriguez because that's how people would say with the English accent.
Wait a minute. Is it
Because if I
Gonzalez or Rodriguez with you?
so Gonzalez and Rodriguez is both. So
Yeah,
we
it's got to be
Latinos
two
have
surnames, right? It's got to be two
we
surnames,
have
right?
we have two last names. Yes.
Yes.
So
Okay. Yeah, that's
so
where we
let me
got it
explain
from
that
as
one.
well, because we got two last names as well.
So the two last names is because you acknowledge your mom
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
name. So your second last name is your mom's maiden last name.
Yes. Yes. Exactly.
Her first last name,
So
right?
wait a minute.
So
Your dad's surname is Rodriguez.
no, my
Rodriguez.
dad's name is Gonzalez.
Gonzalez. Okay.
So my dad is Fernando. That's his first name. He
Hmm.
has no middle name, and his two last names are Gonzalez Lesmes, right? So the
Hmm.
Lesmes was his second one. So when I was born, I was Gonzalez, and then my mom's first last name was Rodriguez. So I'm Gonzalez Rodriguez,
Mm.
right? So you're so my kid's second last name would be my partner's first last name.
Yeah.
So my kid would be
Ah.
Gonzalez Munivar.
Munivar.
Munivar. But if I say Gonzalez Munivar, you go like, what the hell? So I say Munivar because that's easier for someone that speaks English to understand what I'm saying.
Munivar. How do you say it in
Munivar.
Munivar?
Munivar.
It's like
Munivar.
whatever. Like whatever. Whatever.
Munevar.
Munivar.
Munivar.
Yeah.
But if I
Talk to
say
a white
Munivar,
person about that, they're really going to be pronouncing it that way. Munivar.
Munivar, right?
Yeah.
So that's what happens. So when I speak in Spanish and I'm gonna say a word in English, I will say it with the Spanish accent because it would
Mm.
sound weird if I'm talking about, I don't know, a word that we use. There's a word that we use in Spanish, which is the English word, which is shorts, like penny shorts or
Mm.
whatever shorts, right? People say shorts in
What?
Spanish. In Colombia, shorts. They just say shorts. Shorts, because it's just the Spanish way to say, yeah, I'm gonna put me up on esos shorts, right? If I say me
Ah.
up on esos shorts, if I say shorts, it's gonna sound like, oh, so pretentious, oh, shorts. So I just say that how people say it, right? So when someone,
Yeah.
even if it's Kobe, rest in peace,
Yeah.
he says Ronaldinho, it sounds weird. Just say Ronaldinho. Just say it that way. That's what I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
what I think. I don't know.
Nah, I guess, well, I don't know. Like how, and it's not only him. There are other people that they speak and talk differently, and then suddenly, if it's like a different language, so let's say, oh, because I went to, well, let's say I went to Balenciaga. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, getting a seizure there. You know, they
Exactly.
just switch. But I guess if you're really from there, and I understand it, you know, let's.
Yeah, it's completely different. I understand. I get it. It's completely different because again, for me the example is Paris. You don't go
Mm,
to Paris. You go to Paris.
yeah, Paris.
If
I'm
you
going to
if you say
Paris.
Paris, Paris is like, oh, you're choking. And that's not how you speak, man. Just say Paris,
So what's the difference
right?
between there and here? What's the difference between Sydney and Adelaide?
Ah,
Is it
well,
faster in Sydney? I know it's more expensive.
oh well, that's a given. It's a busier city in every
Mm,
sense of the word, right? I
mm,
live in a suburb called Chaswood, which is
mm,
in the lower North Shore, and uh, even though I'm here, it's still considered a classy,
Chatswood. Yeah.
well,
I,
an expensive suburb, right?
is
Um,
Parramatta is Parramatta near you, or
no, Parramatta is west,
is that west?
on the
Okay.
west, on the west. So Sydney, the west of Sydney is where the cheaper stuff tend to be,
Hmm.
and usually where the less um, economically um, wealthy live.
Less
Yeah,
fortunate ones.
I wouldn't say fortunate because
Because
there are
you were trying to look
places.
for you were trying to
I
look for
was
a
gonna
proper word to be
yeah,
not
wealthy.
offensive, and that's
The,
fine. Look, yeah.
so the word would be wealthy because all the wealthy people usually live in the eastern suburbs or in
Mm,
the northern beaches and all those sort of things, right?
yeah.
Or close to the city or whatever. The west is where the city is expanding, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of very nice places in the west,
Mm,
but people with less resources tend to go there because things are cheaper because they're
yeah.
farther away from the city.
Mm,
So in the west is where you find very nice neighborhoods, new developments, but too far away from the city, so they are
mm,
cheaper in general. Or you find those dodgy places where those kind of people that do dodgy stuff live, right?
yeah.
So the West is a mix of very various things. There is very nice places. Parramatta has changed dramatically. When I used to be a student here in Sydney
Mm,
and I used to work in Parramatta,
mm.
I wouldn't want to work. I wouldn't want to walk around the Parramatta CBD after dark because
Oh, really?
dodgy, dodgy as hell. Now it's another CBD, very nice, very
Mm,
classy, elegant. So that changes. For example, near the city, right past Central Station, which is in Surrey Hills,
yeah.
which is a nice sort of trendy, sort of hipster kind of neighborhood. Used to be a suburb called Redfern. That was you wouldn't want to walk around Redfern after dark when I was a student. Now Redfern has all these trendy places and
Yeah.
all these
Yeah.
preppy things, and it's become a hipster area, so it's very nice,
I think
right?
I think it really does take a while because there are some suburbs here as well where,
Gentrification.
yeah, somewhere down, west side, some suburbs, you're never going to catch people go there. But right now, they're snatching up houses left and right because they're developing it. So
And it's funny because
which bodes
the
well for
West in
us.
Adelaide,
Yeah. What's that?
the West in Adelaide is where the
Yeah.
coast is,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
funny because usually that's the more expensive stuff, right?
Mm.
But in Adelaide, if you go towards the hills, that's where the more.
Well, it depends because right now, wherever the coast is, the west right now, because we're looking at houses. The west right now is actually quite expensive as well. I mean, still not Sydney expensive, still not New South Wales expensive, but compared to the first time that we came here, it's really just
But
skyrocketed.
suburbs like Burnside and
Ah, no,
is
that's
Burnside,
always been expensive. They've
that's
always
away
been
from the
expensive.
coast.
Hmm. Was that?
Only those are all away from the coast.
Yeah, yeah. But
They're
those
10
those
minutes away, but they're not in the coast.
yeah, they're not in the coast, but those are always. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, you do see the weird thing about that is, let's say suburbs like Unley. You go deeper into Unley, you're still going to see those like old houses where unsavory people still live in. But that's the
Because they've
weird
been
part
living
of
there
it.
forever.
Yeah,
That because
exactly,
they've been living there forever.
exactly. They're not going to give it up. But um, I don't know where you came from because in let's say in the Philippines, if you live in a classy suburb, you're really not going to be seeing. Well, as soon as you get out of those of that gated community, then you see unsavory people. But here, I mean,
It's
it's a
everywhere.
classy
They're
suburb.
mixed
They're
everywhere.
actually everywhere. It's a classy suburb, but only one place of that suburb is actually really classy. You get out of that,
You
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 actually see all sorts of people.
you can actually see, for example, public housing in
Mm,
nice neighborhoods, right?
yeah, yeah,
So when you have public housing, you have all kinds of people. People
mm,
that are just out of luck and they need help, and
yeah,
people that are
yeah.
there because they're just running through the system and just not caring about anything and just using our taxes to live off of
Yeah.
us,
I
right?
mean,
So
some are genuinely out of luck, and I
Yeah,
get that.
that's exactly right.
And this is
Or single people that had issues with family violence, like the single mom that had to run away with
yep.
kids, and she just doesn't have enough to make ends meet. You can find out all of those things, right?
Dude, I heard some because I used to work at I think I told you about that, right? I used to work in a place, it's an employment agency, but
Yep,
we
yep.
we mainly deal with people who are living on the dole. Now, guys,
Mm.
for the listeners who don't know what living on the dole means, it means that the government's actually helping you out to get back on your feet, but it's really not that much. Now, a lot of people living on the dole, all right, some of them are just really out of luck. Government gives them money or provides them money just for them to get back on their feet up until they get a job, a proper job, and then you're off the dole. Some people here have been living on the dole for generations, and I'm not kidding. It's really from generations.
It's a
And
family business to
it's
stay on the dole.
exactly it's a family business, and the taxpayers actually provide that support. But still, in a way, coming from where we came from, we didn't have that. We did not have that. If you're down and out of your luck, good luck. You're going to die of hunger, right? But
Mm.
human nature really tends to kind of like abuse these, I would say, these things that are being provided. Well, not to everyone, but they tend to abuse. And I've actually spoken to some people where, as healthy as an ox, got muscles up until the gills, and like, oh, you know what, I got a bad back. I'm like, really? You got a bad back? You can't really work? And it's just weird. It's totally different from like I said, where we came from.
That's
Others are kind of like
I
dying to work. Others are just
I
like,
tend to be
yeah,
yeah
go ahead.
I tend to be very cynical
Yeah.
with that thing, because coming from where I come from, where I mean the slums that you can find in the city
Is it
where
is it
I'm from,
Bogota? Because that's the only place that
Bogota.
I know because of
Bogota.
Mr. Escobar.
Yeah, well, Medellin is the one that Escobar used to live in, but Bogota
Mhm.
is the capital.
Mm.
It's an 8-9 million people city. So
Oh,
you have the classy bits.
really?
Yeah, it's a huge city. You have the classy bits, you have the middle class, middle income, very nice, and then you have
Yeah.
the lower classes, because it's a very class pyramidal
Yeah.
sort of class system, and then you have your slums, right? So
Mm.
people in Australia haven't seen poverty this way. People in Australia,
Yeah.
they've never seen poverty like the one we've seen in our countries.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
when I see people living in the dole that actually couldn't necessarily, you know,
Mm.
necessarily need to be there,
Mm.
uh, I'm very cynical, because if you don't live in this country a decent life, it's because you don't want to.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
No,
the way I see it.
that's why I got out of that job, because I'm like you. I'm actually cynical. I doubt first, because it's like, if it's not one thing, it's another. Like, I can't really do it because I got a bad back, or I've got mental health issues. Like, if you live
Oh,
where we live, mental health issues, you're gonna die of hunger. So choose. You got mental health issues, or you die of hunger. What do you
I
want?
remember the first. I remember
What
the
do you
first
want?
time. I remember the first time a coworker, I think in the place where you and I used to work.
Mm.
I remember the first time a coworker missed a day of work because of mental health. I remember thinking, if I go to my boss in Colombia and I tell him I'm gonna take a day off because of mental health reasons, they're gonna go, "What the are you talking about? Go back to work.
Dude, and
Complain on your
that's
own
the
time."
thing. That's the thing. I don't know if you know who Ben Simmons is. You got to know who Ben Simmons is.
Yeah. The
Okay.
AFL guy.
No. He's
Who?
NBA, the NBA number one draft pick a couple
Oh,
of years back.
oh
He's
no.
playing in the
Then
NBA
no,
right now. So
no. I
he's
have no
this.
idea.
Okay. So Ben Simmons, right? He's Aussie. Okay, he's Aussie.
Oh, the Aussie guy. Yeah. He refused to play with
76ers,
Vancouver, was it? Or
Philadelphia.
this Philadelphia. Here we go.
Yes. Okay. So he got
Yeah.
traded. He got traded to the Nets, right? He didn't play for Philadelphia because he said, "Okay, I've got mental health issues. I can't really face the Philadelphia fans, so on and so forth." Okay, they finally traded him to the New Jersey Nets.
In New Jersey.
New Jersey. That's New York,
Even worse.
basically.
That's even worse. That's even worse.
Oh, sorry, New York, the Brooklyn Nets. Sorry, it's not New Jersey. It's New York, basically. It's Brooklyn. All right, Brooklyn. So when he got traded, he didn't play immediately. He was trying to get himself back in shape and so on and so forth. All right. What he did, so now the Nets are actually on the brink of getting eliminated by the Boston Celtics 3-0. They were kind of like hoping, okay, this is a 6'10" body, all right, 6'10" body. He could probably play defense on some of the other players there. We'd be able to at least get a game out of this. Suddenly he says, look, I've got a bad back. Now I've got, he hasn't played for 11 months, man. Has not played for 11 months.
Sixers cashing.
Yeah. And this is another thing. This is what really gets to me. I mean, I know I've got no skin in the game. That's his life. But he hasn't played, complained about mental health issues. Now it's his back. With the mental health issues, Philadelphia told him, look, you got to be working with our doctors or else we can't be paying you. I think they put his money on escrow. He wasn't paid $20 million. 4 years, he's got a $200 million contract, okay, for 4 years. He wasn't paid $20 million. Now he's planning to sue Philadelphia to get that $20 million back. But you didn't play, dude. What do you want to do?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
And that's
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what irks a lot of I would call old timers. 31, 32-year-olds like you and I. That's what irks us. And also
32, sure.
And also the other NBA legends that Shaq spoke about him. Stephen A. Smith, who's a commentator, spoke about, like, come on, dude, what are you doing?
Like when you know what? It's an entitlement thing. And
yes.
Australians are incredibly entitled, and millennials are even more entitled. So when you come from a country, from a culture that is entitled, and then you're a millennial that feels that they have the right to whatever, when you combine those two, it's a dangerous combination, man.
Yeah.
And people understand that to achieve stuff, you need to work for those stuff, right?
Yeah.
Not everything is gonna be handed to you in a silver platter.
Yes.
And some people get that silver platter, and even though they did get the silver platter, they still work hard.
They still work hard,
to maintain stuff, right? But others just wanted.
I'm at a stage where my daughter's actually growing up. So I'm at a stage where I tell my daughter, look, whatever we have right now, your mom and I actually worked hard for it. So whatever you're having right now, you got to be working for it. So it's either you clean up the table or clean up your room and so on and so forth. So at least, you're working for it. I mean, it kind of like sets her mind up, like in the future. I mean, she's the only one, and hoping, we reach her as an adult. She can take care of herself. And that's a prime example. Ben Simmons is actually kind of like a prime example. I don't really know what's going on. Probably really has an injured back, but don't use mental health as an issue, because it's
like the Will Smith thing, right?
Oh man, well, what's your take on that?
If you're cuckoo, don't go to the Oscars, because they're gonna make fun of you, man.
But for you, what's your take on it?
It was a mild joke. Actually, if you think about it, he wasn't offending her. If you think about it, who was G.I. Jane, the character? It was this badass lady that didn't care about her looks and just shed her hair, and she made it through whatever training team for the SEALs, right?
Yeah.
So yes, he was talking about her boldness, but he wasn't making for because she was bold. She was saying, you freaking look badass enough to be G.I. Jane too, right?
Well,
that's how I see it. And then the guy laughs, and then when he sees he's pussy whipped, let's just say it right front. He's pussy whipped when she 100%. 100%. She wears the pants and the whip in that relationship in a bad way. In a bad way. Because that guy is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. She's banging rappers, and she's openly talking about the whole thing. And the guys,
rappers who are friends with his son, so basically his son's age. How
talk about MILF?
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
The
So
definition of
that's your take
MILF
on
right
it.
there.
That's your take on it. If you were Chris Rock, what would you have done?
I would have gone medieval on him
Yeah,
right then and there. I would have gone medieval. Like I would have been not only Chris Rock. If I were one of the other hosts, I
yeah,
would have been, you know, on him. The fact that they got up and applauded him, gave him a standing ovation when he won the
that's so
Oscar.
stupid.
That's
Honestly,
just
like
ridiculous.
Jesus. Yeah,
That's just ridiculous. And but now I like the gangster move that Chris Rock is pulling. Want me to talk? Pay up.
yeah, yeah.
Pay
Exactly,
up.
exactly. You see how I'm gonna watch his show. By the way, he's coming over, so I'm gonna watch the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Do you
yeah.
get tickets?
Yeah, yeah. It's
That's
how much
cool.
was it? 100 plus, higher, closer to 200. I'm not gonna go like
That's
front
not that
row and
bad.
all that because I'm the only one who's
That's
gonna
not that
watch
bad.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, my take on that is like, look, I'm a big proponent for you don't talk about family, but the thing is that was actually a light joke, and
It was a very light joke. Very light.
it wasn't even that insulting.
It
All
wasn't
right,
insulting at all.
and then
He could have,
after, yeah,
you know, Rick. You know what? Rebel Wilson at the BAFTAs, she
yeah,
did a harder joke.
yep,
Do you hear that one?
yeah, yeah. About
Like
which
the
one? About
Oscar
the about the shit, what was
about
it?
that it's incredible that Will Smith is nominated for a BAFTA for Best Actor for playing the Williams dad when he should have been nominated for playing cool with his wife having affairs with
Yeah,
younger rappers,
yeah.
something like that.
No,
Like
and
that's a real performance playing cool.
did you see the red table? Because everything's actually just coming out right now.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I've never watched it and I don't plan to doing it because
no, same thing, but everything's actually coming out. Everybody's trying to dissect what the how their family's relationship goes on the red table. You know what she called her? Well, her doing her son's friend. It was an entanglement. You believe that?
yeah, yeah,
And then, like, come on, an entanglement.
yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
And let's be honest. Isn't she where she is because she married him?
Nah, she's
Or
probably where she
what's
is
her,
because she was a girlfriend of Tupac before. So
yeah, but I mean, what has she actually done in terms of her
I
own
don't
body
know.
of work? Matrix
Nothing. No.
and a
Well,
couple of really small roles in Bad Moms and I think Bad Moms 2 and some other stupid lady movie.
Batman. This series. Do you used to watch that?
Was she there?
When Batman wasn't Batman yet, I forgot the name of the show, but it was mainly
Yeah,
when Bruce Wayne was Gotham. Yes,
Gotham,
yes, yeah. That was actually a
Gotham,
pretty good.
Gotham.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. That's
Yeah.
hey, I want to just off topic, man. Our friend who used to always try to contact you, our big friend,
Who's
the
not
one
that big
the
anymore?
the one who I flirted with allegedly. Yeah. So is that friend still
Hey,
bothering you?
she no, not at all. Not
Oh,
at all.
good, good, yeah,
Not
yeah.
at all. It's been a long time. It's been a long
Finally
time.
gave up, huh?
Well, she is not. She is more confident in themselves, in herself. So I think she's less needy.
No, okay.
She changed. She changed a lot.
Ah, really? Okay.
Like a lot.
All right, all right. Oh, so right now,
Like she
yeah.
like she changed tons.
Okay.
So she's not. But she was married and
Was.
um well at the time I'm guessing she still is, but I mean
All
she
right.
didn't need to do all the things she did and then lie about you to me,
Dude,
thinking I wasn't gonna ask
yeah,
you.
yeah. I was
I
telling,
remember your face when I told you, yours and Matt's face when I told you.
I was telling my wife about it, Racy. I'm like,
Oh
yeah,
God.
allegedly I did, and I don't know how. I was like,
You know what? She actually literally confused niceness with they like me,
well, you
because
know,
you and I were very nice to her. You and I were very nice to her
yeah,
because
yeah.
we have that warmness that usually Caucasians don't have, right? We're warm people
Mm,
in general,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so I remember I was really sweet to her because she was really nice to me. So
Yeah.
I give based on what I get, right?
Yeah, no,
So
same,
I
same. It's the same.
the other the other
You
the other
reciprocate
trainer
whatever's actually been. Yeah.
the other trainer was perfectly nice, but she was very cold and standoffish. So I was never warm to her, even though
Mm,
we were very nice and pleasant with each other, with the other trainer,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
This person that we're talking about, she was very warm. So I was very warm with her because she was very nice, right? But she completely fabricated a whole scenario in her head. And I'm so happy she didn't propose at prison. Imagine, hey, hey, Tony, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be?
Can't, can't, man. Jesus Christ, dude. Well, for the listeners, there you go. This is what we call Latino Heat. All right.
Oh man,
The
it just
the
we choose irradiate, right? It's just we just
the
that's it.
Latino Heat in full effect. There you go.
There we go.
But yeah, I had to, yeah, I had to tell the wife. I'm like, and she's like, why? What did you do? I don't know. Talk.
You didn't do anything. You didn't do. I
No.
didn't do anything. I didn't do anything.
That's why I was so surprised. Like,
Remember I showed you the texts.
yeah, yeah,
Remember
yeah,
all the stuff she said to me.
yeah. Oh God, yeah. That's a flashback. Yeah, yeah. Because I
Remember?
thought because you never change your number, right? Because I never change your number here, right?
It
You never
was
change your
through.
number.
It was through. No, no, no. I never. It was through Messenger though. It was through Facebook Messenger.
Oh God. Oh goodness. But yeah. Oh well. Oh well, man. Wait a minute.
I
Yeah.
saw her. Remember the funeral of our buddy?
Oh, was she there?
She was there. I saw her that
I
day.
probably didn't notice her. 'Cause
Well, I basically was walking out and boom, and she was like all smiles and all hi, and we're like, oh, living.
Hi, this is me
She was
minus
there.
1 ton. How are you?
1.5.
1.5. Oh God. But yeah, I've been.
Talking about that, I lost 35 kilos, man.
I
I
know.
lost
I know. You
35
were
kilos.
telling me.
I'm still a big man, but 35 kilos.
No, but your face is actually a little bit a lot smaller than what I used to remember it was.
Yeah, it's
Um.
good.
Yeah. I look like for me. I've never been big on weight. I'm 92 or probably 90. I started running though, like running
But
every week.
but you're fit. But you're fit.
Well, I haven't really been doing a lot of cardio. It's more of like lifting
But
stuff.
how tall are you? How tall are you?
5'7". I
Which in
honestly,
meters is?
I do not believe in BMI because I've always been heavy.
No, I know. No, 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 no. I don't believe in BMI because according to the BMI, I should be 80 kilos. I'll never be 80 kilos. I'm
You're
happy if I get to 100.
what
I'm
are you?
104 right now. I'm
You're like
104 right
5'9",
now.
right? Are you 5'9"?
I'm 5'11. 5'11.
Are you 5'11"?
Yeah, I'm 180.
Ah, 180.
180
I'm
centimeters.
I'm 5. I'm 1.7. I think 170, 170, 171 cm. But yeah, I've always been on the heavy side. So I don't know if it's my legs or my ass or I don't know.
But you are.
I'm bulky.
You have
I've
big
always been
bones.
bulky. I've always
Yeah,
been
you have
bulky.
big bones. You have big bones.
Yeah,
You have big
yeah,
bones.
yeah.
Our friend Matt is putting some weight, daddy weight.
Well, he's gonna be a dad. So everybody goes
Yeah,
through it,
maybe
man.
that.
Everybody goes
Yeah,
through it because
I'm hoping I'm not gonna go back because I need I'm okay where I am, and my goal is to get to 100. If
now,
I get to 100, that'll be 40 kilos that I've lost, and I'll be okay with 100.
well, Matt's in a good place. He's still young, and
He's very
I
young.
really think he's still playing soccer. So
Yep, all
you
cool. Is he
know,
knee? You know if he had his knee surgery finally?
no,
He had an issue with his knee last time I remember, and it was being
probably
postponed. He was gonna go to the reserves, to the military reserves, like his sister and his brother,
really.
and he had to stop that because of his knee. He screwed up his knee in a soccer game, in a football game. So he was actually about to do the medical, the physical, to get into the reserves, because his plan was to, when they are part of the reserves, they get paid the time that they go there,
Yeah,
tax free.
yeah, 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 yeah.
They are allowed to take that time off without using annual leave
Correct. Yeah.
from work, and it's paid from work, I think, as well. So basically, if you manage to do the whole sacrifice and become part of the reserves in the army,
Mm.
financially is a reward for you.
It is
Well,
reward. I've got a friend. I've got a friend who works for the government, but he's a reserve. He's doing okay. I think he's only doing part time now, but he's still part of the reserve. And his son is, I'm not sure if it's in the army, but according to him, it really pays well. So I tried. I tried it as well. This was the time when I haven't had the thing that happened to me. Haven't had the uh what happened to me, the brain injury. I went for the exam, passed, and then the medicals. Well, I haven't really gone for the medicals, but I because they are going to find out anyways. I told them, look, I've been having migraines and so on and so forth, right? And I didn't get through to the practicals because of me being honest in the medicals. And then a year after, that thing happened. So
wow,
you're probably right. Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah.
wow.
So that
And you
was.
doing okay? You doing all
Oh
right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, it's okay in a sense that I already know what I'm capable of. I already know that I can only be doing this, and then not really force it before I kind of like shut down. I still have that fatigue that I almost always had afterwards, but right now it's actually better. I can manage it a lot better. With the memory, I think I'm getting there, but depends, I guess.
Are there exercises that you can actually do?
Oh, I don't lift heavy. I
No, I mean mental exercises,
oh
like
well, it's mainly reading because believe it or not, when I first got out, I couldn't even finish a book. Now I'm actually okay again. So before it's the concentration.
And when everything happened with you,
Yeah,
the new hospital wasn't open yet. So
yeah.
you had to be in the old one, remember?
And this is how bad it was. Okay, this is how bad
Yeah,
it
I
was.
remember.
All right. Well, how bad my thinking process was. I actually wanted to get out already because I'm like, what am I doing here? Like every time I wake up, what am I doing here? What am I doing here? I was trying to look for a way out. Apparently, the lift was just right in front of me. You know?
Well, lucky you, you didn't find it.
It's so stupid, man. It's so
Lucky you didn't
stupid.
find it. Lucky you didn't find
Yeah,
it.
yeah. As soon as I got
It
out,
would
I
have been
probably wouldn't know how to cross the street. It was so stupid. It was so stupid.
imagine your wife, how worried she would have been. She comes back and you're not there. What the hell?
It was so stupid.
She's like,
Oh well.
I'm looking for my husband. How does he look like? He's a short Filipino man. They are all short. Oh,
Oh man.
that's the racist joke of the afternoon.
Uh, we're not short, man. We're fun size. What are you talking about?
Yeah,
We're fun
fun
size.
fun size. That's right. That is right. Fun size, exactly.
Oh
Because
man.
if you describe me, he's Colombian. What does he look like? He's blonde and tall. No Colombian is blonde and tall. What the fuck are you talking about?
What are you talking about? He's not Colombian. What are you talking about?
My brother looks like a Mexican mariachi man. What the hell?
Oh, no way, really?
Oh, my
Hey,
brother's
are
black
you?
hair, black
Do you have any
beard.
plans of going to Colombia anytime soon?
December.
December.
December. My partner and I are getting married. She's Colombian as well. As you know,
Nice.
I got a divorce and
Yeah, yeah,
I have
yeah.
a partner. And
Happy for you,
we're
man.
getting married. Thank you, my friend. We're getting married in Colombia, and we want to have the baby baptized because we are Catholic. So we want to have the baby baptized in Colombia as well. So if everything goes well, we already have a date,
Hmm.
the 7th of January, in Colombia. So if you're traveling around the area, please let me know because we'll have 3 seats for you.
Thanks. I don't know
Course.
if we can go to the US already. I mean, yeah, we can, but it's more of like when I say we can go to the US already, it's more of like the budget thing,
Yeah,
because
of course. No, I understand that, and I can't ask people to fly over to Colombia for the
yeah,
event. But
yeah.
if people are around that time, and they're more than welcome. I have a couple of friends. I have a gay couple that are very close friends of ours, and he's Colombian, and one of them is Colombian, and the other one is Australian, and they're actually taking a cruise around
Mm.
that time. San Francisco, then Hawaii, then back to San Francisco, and they're actually back in San Francisco on the 6th of January. So they already said that they want to fly back to Colombia on the 6th to be with us on the 7th of January um, for the wedding. So that's lovely. If people are there and they're part of our close friends, we want them to be there. We just can't ask people to go from here to there.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just a crazy trip.
Wow. Everything is
Most of
just.
our families are in Colombia. My brother's here, and if he wants to go, if he can go, but he has 2 kids now. Who knows?
Is it only a brother that you have? You don't have any
Yeah,
sisters?
no, just my brother. Just my brother. Um, yeah, he's been here in Australia for 20 years, maybe.
Hmm.
He's been here for a long time. He's been here for a long time. My friend Tony, I
I was
think I
actually.
need to call it quits
Yeah. Same,
for
same, same.
today.
Look, I totally appreciate it, man. Let's do it again this next time around with Matt. Um,
And let's talk about Conor McGregor and why we hate him so much and why we like him to break all his bones in his body.
we didn't even talk about MMA, which is so weird.
We did it.
It's been that long. It's been that long since we talked to each other.
Is
But look, we always
is
got
John
time.
Bones Jones coming back? Is he coming back? Is John Bones Jones coming back? Is Masvidal getting a title shot ever again?
No,
Um,
I highly doubt it. I mean,
is
if
Volkanovski the best pound for pound? Because he looked good.
yeah, he did you see him train? I didn't realize he was that maniacal. He starts
Oh,
the training
that man.
with like, okay, I should be in a bad spot. I'm like, what the hell? Who does that? But well, yeah. Next time, man. Oh, we got to get Matt on. You guys could talk soccer, even if I don't know anything about it. I'll chime in with
I'll
some
make fun of him.
stupidity.
I'll make fun of him because he's from Liverpool and I'm from Real Madrid.
Hey,
And
Manchester's actually coming over. I don't know if Ronaldo's
which
coming.
one? Which one? United?
United, yeah.
Okay.
I
Maybe Ronaldo's coming over.
think I don't know if it's this year or sometime next year. I think it's this year. I just heard. I mean, I
For
just saw
for me this year, my goal is November 27th, Guns N' Roses.
November 27. What?
Guns N' Roses.
Oh yeah. Actually,
That's my goal. I have my
well,
tickets since last year now.
I used mine for Chris Rock, so you know.
There we go. Priorities. Priority. You want to have fun? I just want to scream like a teenager because I'm
Priorities,
closer
my
to the
friend.
age.
Priorities. Wait, I want to. Okay. I want this to be your last song. All right. So, you guys, you have anything to promote or anything like?
Absolutely nothing. I'm not a personality to promote anything.
Yeah.
But I would love to be invited to the podcast at another date because I love chatting with you. And we can
Thanks, man.
maybe we can have specific topics that we want to cover
Yeah.
in MMA or something like that, so we can actually focus on those things
Now
and
this
just
was
cover.
really more of a catch up between you and I. The next ones would be MMA. All right,
Oh,
I
MMA
promise.
all the way.
And I'll get
Or
Matt in.
or
I'll get Matt
Tyson
in as well.
Fury and Anthony Joshua. Are they gonna fight or not?
No, I don't think so. Fury's too good
you
for
see-
Joshua right now.
Did you see the last knockout? Did you see that last
Yeah,
knockout?
it was just so
An
technical.
uppercut.
He
It was
knew.
an uppercut.
He
Just
knew.
went
It was
like
just
this,
so
and it was
technical.
over.
Yeah,
Oh,
with a dad bod,
amazing.
you know.
With a dad
There-
bod. So
The guys
it
do
gives
not
him a-
never underestimate a dad bod.
Hey, remember the Mexican dude that knocked out Joshua?
Yes. What's his name? He's actually fighting.
forgot.
He's fighting.
Anthony something?
I forgot
I don't
who.
remember.
But yeah, he's fighting. He's fighting again. You know, I mean, you know,
and
that
when
first big
Joshua
payday, he
fighting-
got too cocky. So there you go.
When is Joshua fighting the Ukrainian guy again
Usyk,
to try to
try to get it back. Has it been set? Because I know Usyk's in doing the war thing right now.
I think he left already.
Yeah.
I read that he had gone and he already left again.
And I was actually also hoping that who's our champion? Kambosos would be fighting Lomachenko, hopefully. But Loma decided to go to the war. So there you go.
Those tough bastards. Don't mess with the Ukrainians ever.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Exactly.
Jesus.
Exactly.
Jesus.
All right, buddy. I say
Alrighty.
thank you.
Take care, my
All
friend.
right. Love
care.
to the partner and the baby.
Thank you
See you
so
soon,
much.
man.
Love to the family as well.
Likewise. See ya.
Bye, buddy.